So it's funny how I like to always start these videos with talking about the way I look, because I didn't want to waste the time to do anything, which is why I feel like my hair kind of looks like um, a female lead from The Great Gatsby. Um, but I wanted to get this story down for you because it was something that sprung into my mind and it could be useful to somebody, it could be fun for somebody. So, for some reason today, I started thinking about how when I worked on the film Never Been Kissed as an extra for about a couple of months back in 96 or 97, maybe even 98, um, I don't know how this all happened, but my friend Marissa, I would love your comments or any information that you may remember from this. But for some reason, I came up with the idea that I called everybody by their name with Vaja in front of the name. So, for instance, her cat's name was Vaja Bagheera, if I remember. And then my name was Vaja Davy, and just everybody, that was their name. And I don't remember what the purpose of that was, but I remember one of the funniest days was Judy, who was our the extras casting director. She used to come to set a lot, or there was usually a representative there, because we were used so much and there was such a big cast of us. That one day, and it might have been the first time I actually met her in person, she came up to me and she said, "So I hear that I go by the name of Vaja Judy." And I just remember being so shocked and hilarious. That was just hilarious for me. Um, but she was a good sport and she was just a great person. She was very kind and yeah, she just thought that was hilarious, and I did too, obviously. I wish I remembered why, we did that. I know that it was just a really interesting situation because when they cast us in cliques because it takes place in high school, or my part of it was in high school. So they casted us by cliques. So when I was first cast, they said you'll be cast as the semi-popular crowd, which is funny because then when we showed up on set, they put us into those cliques. And when you looked around in the cliques, it was just such an odd mix of people. Like there was a goth, there was a lesbian, and then they were just like fairly normal looking people. And it was funny because one of the people that was in there was a gal named by the name of Quinn, and she was just amazing lesbian girl. And very dykey and very strong. And she was like, so I guess this is the gig, the gig clique. And we were all just like, I mean, I guess. But it was just like, it's so much fun and funny and laughter because you spend so much time with these people and you kind of go crazy because they're long hours and you just sit around doing nothing, that you can't come up with all these different things. So that might have had something to do with it. So that is like a little part of this story of, so this came up to me today, and then I was like, somehow I connected that to the Fantastic Beasts and how there's the No-Mages, and I was like, what if there was the No-Vages? So I then came up with this idea that I'm presenting to you, to the world, to put out into the universe, and to all of my creative friends and friends that work in comedy or in writing or that sort of thing, that in this day and age of us trying to, lift up the female population in the entertainment industry and support them in their art and being strong and coming out and saying these things publicly. What if there was some sort of comedy short or film or part of film where there is the no vages, which is how you would label a man in that particular situation, and to kind of heighten the female perspective in whatever you decide to do with this, whether it be a story or a film or a TV show. But um, that old, I don't know if it's an adage or anything like that, but men always say, or that you can't have the word woman without having the word man. So this is a kind of a way to take that whole thing away from it and giving this more into the eyes of the women. So, you're either a woman or you're a no-vag, or I guess you could either be a vag or a no-vag, however you want to do it. But I just wanted to give that creative little tidbit out there for somebody to run with. And that's the story behind it, where it came from. Because it all just jumped into my mind today. And of course, it all connected into this. So there you go.